Hey, this is Lindsay. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create 3 kinds of menus in Captivate. I'll show you how to create a pop-up menu. I'll show you how to create a slide-out menu. And I will show you how to create a drop-down menu. Okay? The one caveat I'm going to tell you right here at the beginning of this video is that these are one-time use menus. I spent a lot of time figuring out how to reset these. Oh, that one actually worked on the second go around, but I couldn't get it to work consistently. But in any case, they look beautiful. They work really well, and you can usually assume your user is just going to go ahead and move on in the menu anyway, so I wouldn't worry about the menu opening and closing too many times. Okay. So let's go ahead and dive in. Obviously, I've got my pre-built project where I already did all the problem solving and figured out all of this stuff. And I'll show you first how to create the menu that just appears, which is the simplest. And then I'll show you how to make that menu be a slide in, slide out menu, which does require advanced actions. And after that, I'll show you the drop-down menu, which uses similar principles, but I'll show you a little bit about the design of it and how I used advanced actions to create that. Okay, so I'm going to show you the component parts here. In Adobe Captivate, I pretty much never use text captions. I always just use shapes. I use shapes to create basically everything I do and to even contain my text, because once you have a shape, you can give it a border, take away the border, change the color, whatever. So you need a base shape. In properties over here, you can choose the fill, you can choose the opacity if you want it to be half transparent or not. I always change the stroke to 0. That's that default border that Captivate puts in there, which drives me absolutely crazy. Once you have a shape that you like, you can right click and you can duplicate. You can also use a shortcut on your keyboard, Control D or Command D if you are on a Mac, just to duplicate your shapes, and I usually duplicate them to make the little buttons that are going to match. So these buttons, you can say I didn't actually build out the module 1, 2, 3 slides on here. I copied these from the original project I did. These are carbon copies of this. You can drop these onto here. You just lay them out. And because they don't have the stroke or border on them, you don't know once this is actually published that these are separate things on top of this backdrop here. One thing I'm going to warn you, when you create something that's going to be a button, you click Use as Button, right? And then you choose the action where it's going to go. Because I don't have the slides here for it to jump to, it's just defaulting here to continue, which is fine. But you want to go into State View. Here, I want to actually show you this. Let's uncheck Use as Button. Let's go ahead and let's create a new shape here. All right, so just so you know, this is a thing. So this is my ugly shape that I just created. If I want to use something as a button, what Captivate does is it automatically adds these additional states, and these are always pretty ugly. What I like to do is just delete the states. So what I'll do is I'll create a new shape. I'll make that into a button. You have to click Use as Button for those states to appear. I'll style this button the way that I want, and then once I'm happy with that, I'll be like, okay, this is module 1, for instance, and then I'll just carbon copy, duplicate that, and use that for the rest of my buttons as well, so that once you edited the states on that first one, you don't have to do it on the other ones, okay? So with Captivate, you really have to work smart to save yourself work, because Captivate wants to make everything as ugly as possible. So create your backdrop first, edit it the way you like, take away the stroke, change the fill, whatever. Use that to create your first button. Once you create your first button, go into State View and remove the ugly states, or change them to however you want. But again, it creates ugly states by default. And then move them into position on top of your backdrop here. So I'm not going to spend too much time getting really finicky in this video with design. Obviously, I'm not going for design points here. I'm going for functionality in this video. But one hot tip in Captivate is when you have items that are similar, clean them up using Captivate's align function, okay? I use this 2 ways. First, I align left or center, however you want. So these are all perfectly aligned with each other. Then I dive back in on that right click to that align feature, and I distribute vertically. Now, when you look at it, these are each perfectly aligned and there's the exact same amount of space between each of them, okay? Once you do that, you can select all three so they stay right in proportion to each other and then move them wherever you want in this backdrop here. Now, what I'm using for the actual menu icon, this is called a hamburger icon. I actually went into PowerPoint and created this custom myself. If you know this is possible in PowerPoint, what you do is you can actually just put in your shapes, whatever shape you want. You can create a shape or use some sort of shape in here. You can group. And then you can right-click Save as Picture. I already saved this to my desktop, so I can show you how I did that later on. But you can save as, and then you can import it into Captivate, and then you can use it as an icon in Captivate. Okay, so I've got my little hamburger icon here. I don't know why it's glitching like that. It's Captivate. I'm not surprised by much of the things that it does. Hopefully that looks fine in the output. It wasn't doing that earlier. I'm rearranging the menu the way that I want it to appear. My hamburger icon is now glitching. Oh, brother. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and delete that and put in a new hamburger icon. Oh, God. All right, remember, if you are resizing an image in Captivate, you can hold down the Shift button when you do the resizing so it stays proportional. Otherwise, when you resize it, it gets all real squishy really fast, which drives me absolutely mad. So again, Shift button to resize. I'm going to start assembling my menu here. This is Captivate in real time. There's always exciting glitches to be had. Okay. And I duplicated that button and I'm dropping it over in the corner because that's where I want my button with the menu closed to appear, so the user can click on that to open and close the menu. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this. Again, I'm not going for style points here. I'm going for functionality in this video just to demonstrate stuff. My menu is assembled the way I like it. You do need two of these hamburger icons. This one's going to open the menu. This one's going to close the menu, okay? This is going to be like layers. So when this one appears, you're going to use this one to close the menu. Okay, so far so good. Everything looks like the way I want it to be. I'm going to select all of this garbage right here, right click, and I'm going to group it. Now that I've grouped it, I want it to have a more exciting name than group 2. I'm going to call it just menu, okay? It's going to save you a lot of headache down the line if you name your objects in Captivate. If you name your slides in Captivate as well, it gives you an easier time. So for example, in my original built-up project here, I named each slide up here Module 1, Module 2, Module 3, so that when I was building out the menu buttons, it was very, very clear to say jump to Module 1, jump to Module 2, rather than having to figure out the slide number. So in general, in Captivate, name your stuff. It's going to make your life easier. Okay, so now because I copy and pasted this from my other project, it's giving me a little bit of guff because there's different show and hide permissions in here. Let me reset those. Okay, I reset all of that. Okay, so I've gotten rid of that little error exclamation point right there. You'll get that little exclamation point on the eyeball if you have different permissions in a group. If each item has like a different show or hide, that little little icon will appear. Okay. My menu is good to go. It's the way I like it. Now I selected it. I am going to click this eyeball again. Remember that shows visible in output. I want that little red slash to appear over the eyeball. That means that this is now hidden. So when I run this slide, this is going to be hidden in the output. Okay, so I've named my group menu. I've hidden it in the output. Here's where the first magic happens. I'm going to click on my main hamburger icon here. I'm going to use as a button. Now, when you're using images as buttons, it doesn't add those weird... I lied. It does add weird state views as well. Delete those states. I can never remember which funny things it does. So delete those states. I'm going to use this as a button as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and go in and delete these states as well. They get really ugly. They turn like gray when you roll over them. I hate it. So I just delete the states. I don't need the states. If you want states, more power to you. You can edit those. For purposes of this demo, I want it to just be clean, deleting those states. Okay, back to using as buttons. I'm using this as button. And the action is going to be on success. I want it to show menu. So you can see all the other ugly names of the project here. Menu. This is why you name your stuff in Captivate, to give yourself an easier time. So on success, show menu, and then uncheck continue playing the project, okay? We don't want to continue making stuff happen in the project. We're just having one isolated feature happening here. So uncheck continue playing the project and move on to the next button. So the other hamburger icon, on success, we're going to hide menu. Again, uncheck continue playing the project. All right, so before I layer these up one on top of the other, let's go ahead and preview the project here. It opened in another screen. Here we go. All right. So, cross your fingers. Yay, it works. So when I click on this, this appeared. When I click on that, it disappears. Perfect. Done. And you can actually show and hide as many times as your little heart pleases. All right, perfect. Close that. Now what I'm going to do is make sure that this is layered to the back. So right click, arrange, send to back. All right. And then I move in my menu over it. Okay. So that is all built out. Let's take one more look at it. Project. Play. Show, hide, show, hide, show. And then, of course, if you click on each of those will be buttons that actually work in the project. So that's it. That's the simplest. That's the show and the hide menu. If you're happy with your menu appearing and disappearing, you're done. That's it. You can go on with the rest of your life. If you want to move on to seeing how to slide these things out or how to drop down, continue along with me on this journey. Okay. So that's built out. I'm going to go ahead and move on to just reusing this menu to show you how to slide this out. So if you are familiar with, apps, obviously you're probably using your phone all the time. It has a little hamburger icon. You might tap on that little icon and the menu slides out, or fancy websites will have a menu that maybe slides out, drops down, whatever. All right, so I'm going to leave this where it is built out as it is, and I'm going to start setting up my advanced actions. So remember, it is a wonderful service to your future self when you name your objects in Captivate. I just named this one menu. It's going to make my life so much easier. In just a moment, you'll see why. We're going to go to Project, Advanced Actions, and I don't have any existing actions in here. I got to start building them out from blank. So leave this at blank. It's going to be a pretty simple advanced action, and this one's just going to be, let's see, open menu. Okay? So start with open menu, and we need to do two things. The first thing we need to do is show the menu. Remember, this is hidden, and we want to show it. We can't make it do anything interesting unless it's showing. So again, I made my life very easy by naming this. There it is, show menu. Second thing, we are going to go all the way down to apply effect. We're going to apply that effect to menu. Again, named. I made my life very easy. Now we're going to choose the effect. I'm going to use the entrance effect, fly in from left. So that'll give it the slide effect, like it's sliding in from the left. So that's it for advanced action. Show menu, apply effect, fly in from left. That's our open menu advanced action. Now this little 3-dot box right here you'll be interested in because it shows you the effect. You can set the effect duration. Think about when you use a menu on a website, it flies in pretty fast. You're not waiting a full 2 seconds for it to fly in. That will drive you a little bit crazy if you leave that as a default. In my demo, I did it as 0.5 of a second. I thought that was pretty good. And you can leave the effect start at 0 seconds. So click OK. And really important, before you do anything else, is save as action. Super important, okay? Script save successfully. That's what I want to see. Anytime you edit an action, you have to click update action. It won't necessarily tell you if you have unsaved changes. It'll just let you move on with your life, and you'll wonder why the thing you changed isn't working, and you'll drive yourself crazy. So make sure you save as action, update if you make any changes. I'm going to go ahead and just reuse this action to build out my next one. So of course I need 2 actions, right? I want to open the menu, and then I want to close the menu. This is my open menu. It's built out. It's ready to go. If I wanted to go in and test it, I could, but I'm here. So I'm going to go ahead and just duplicate this and make this into a new action. So you can go up to this little top button right here. It's like a little kind of like a copy icon. Let's duplicate the action. It gives it the really ugly name, duplicate of open menu. I'm going to change it to close menu. And I'm just going to update action right away. Okay, so right now this is still identical to open menu. It's just called close menu. So I'm going to change that. Okay, so first thing I need to do is just change the order of these. So this one, show, is going to go, down. And show is going to change to, come on, hide. I know it's shocking revelation here. Hide menu. And then the effect, I'm going to leave apply effect. And I'm going to leave it applying to menu. And I'm going to change it to fly out to left. So I got to kind of do a lot of clicking on it. There's going to be exit. And, oh, God, Captivate's so twitchy. Fly out to left. It's right there. Okay. And then, again, you have to go in and change the effect duration. The other one was 0.5. I'm going to leave this one at 0.5. Okay. So now the advanced action close menu is going to apply the effect, fly out to left, and it's going to hide the menu. Update action. Make sure you update action before you move on, or this isn't going to work and you'll be very sad and confused, which is common to experience with Captivate, but let's reduce that as much as possible. Okay, we are done with the advanced actions. Close. Now we built out our advanced actions, which is great, but that actually has no effect on what's going on here unless we apply that to our buttons. So click on your first group here. Click again to select just the hamburger icon. It's already being used as a button, but on success, I want to execute advanced actions, and I'm executing close menu. So it really helps if you build out these advanced actions in advance, and you give them clear names as well. So it's there, it's ready to go, infinite attempts, that's it. Okay, now to edit my other button without having to move this around and ruin the way that I like it, I can actually just select this group down here in the timeline, click this show hide item, and it makes it disappear. So when this X appears, it doesn't show here, and it won't show in the output either. So remember, this is an eyeball, and if you click on something, this is an eyeball as well. These are different eyeballs. This eyeball does something different than this one. It'll drive you absolutely crazy. So this one's just for like showing hiding on the canvas. This eyeball is for the output. Anyways, I use this just to hide things so I can see what's behind them and edit them. So select your hamburger icon here. On success, we're also going to execute an advanced action, and this one's going to be open menu. Okay? Now that that's done, check that again so this menu appears again. While you're here, you might as well save your file so if something crashes, no problem, you're good to go. And let's go ahead and preview. All right, so once again, cross your fingers that this all worked correctly. Okay, here we go. There it is! I clicked on the hamburger icon. This slid out. It's pretty fast. You might want to adjust that duration. Let's click again. Yeah, okay. That only worked once. So as I promised at the very beginning of this video, for some reason these are like one-time use only. I spent so much time trying to figure out how to reset it, and I couldn't. Let's preview that one more time. It seemed like the exit feature didn't actually slide out like it was supposed to. So let's do some more problem solving in real time. Okay, so I click this, it should slide out from the left. Ooh, that was a weird twitch. When I click it again, it should slide in. It didn't slide in, so let's go see what's going on with our advanced actions. So one of the things when you make videos, you're like, I'm pretty sure I set this up correctly, but maybe I didn't. All right, so open menu, just double check everything. Show menu, apply effect, menu flies in from left. The effect duration is 0.5. Fine. Go to close menu, apply effect, menu fly out to left, 0.5. Maybe we just need to lengthen that a little bit. I don't know. Captivate, you are so funky. So funky. Oh, I wonder if I need to push out the hide menu. This worked earlier when I created it before creating this video, but you never know with these things. Let's try previewing one more time. Maybe Captivate's just being finicky. All right, so click that, it slides out. Okay, I think actually the issue here is that when you create an advanced action, it applies everything all at once. So I think I need to put in a delayed effect here. Let me program this and I'll tell you what I'm talking about. So this is a delay, where is it? Delay next action. Okay, I'm going to change this to literal. I'm going to change this to 0.5 and hit enter. I'm going to use this little arrow button to push that up. Okay, so what I think is happening is that I'm applying the effect. It's trying to apply the effect and hide at the same time, and the apply effect needs, I don't know, let's change this back to 0.5. It needs 0.5 seconds to complete, right? We have this problem all the time in Captivate when there's like an animation length default is like 2 seconds, but the button pause default is 1.5 seconds. So if you have an animation that starts at the beginning of a slide, but there's a button that pauses it, a lot of animations don't finish. Anyways, maybe you know what I'm talking about, maybe you don't. But I think that's kind of what is happening here. It seemed to work when I did my demo earlier, but I don't know. So apply effect, delay action, next actions by 0.5 seconds, then hide the menu. Okay, so this has a 0.5 second duration. It's going to wait 0.5 seconds, and it's going to hide the menu. So again, update action. This should do the trick. If it doesn't, I'm just going to throw my coffee out the window and find a new job. So preview the project here. Hit play. I always wait for it to pause to make sure it's happy. All right, it slides in. Hopefully it slides out now. It slides out. Okay, so that was the ticket. Very important when creating your advanced action that the close menu delays the next action. You don't have to do that in the open menu because you're showing it and then applying the effect. But for the close menu effect, you need to delay the next action by the same length that the animation needs to complete and then hide the menu. Okay. So just for kicks, let's preview that one more time because it's so satisfying when you get something to work, right? All right, so click in this. There's a little glitchy, but it flies out there. That's great. Click it again, and it closes. Again, couldn't figure out how to get that to reset. I'm sure there's a way to do it that involves things that are very complicated. I know how I could get it to work, but I also didn't want to show you something that would screw up the rest of your slide if you have other things going on. Anyways, all right. That is a slide out hamburger menu. I promised one more type of menu in this video. Let's move on. Next one's going to be a drop-down menu. Oh, how exciting. I already showed you how I kind of constructed this menu. Same concept for the drop-down menu, but the style of drop-down menus tends to be a little bit different. It tends to be like there's just a little thing hiding at the top of this menu with like a little arrow, and the arrow points down, and then when you drop it down, you can click the, there's a new arrow that appears that makes it go up. Let me show you what I did here. Oopsies, I didn't mean to do that. Let me just move this all over. Yeah, see, so this is what you'll see to drop down. This is what you'll see when this is dropped down to make it go back up. Okay, so I'm not going to show you how I built this out. I'm just going to build the advanced actions for you to show you how I'll make it work. If you stuck with me through that last little bit with the slide out menu, it's going to be very similar. Again, make sure that your menus are named. This one's called, I'm just going to call this is very long. I'm just going to call this drop down menu. Keep my own head a little bit straight here. Okay, so this is called drop down menu, and it's already hidden in the output, so I don't have to worry about that. So let's build out the advanced actions, and then we'll just assign them to the buttons. So this one's going to be, I'm just going to call this show menu. I'm going to save as action before I move on to anything else. Oops. It wants me to actually do stuff first. Okay, so I'm going to call this one show menu. I can't save it yet until I program it out. So this one's going to be very similar to the last one. We want to show drop down menu. And then we want to apply the effect to the drop-down menu, and that's going to be an entrance, and that's going to be a fly in from top. I know a lot of these things are not intuitive, that to make a drop-down menu, you actually want to apply the effect fly in from top. Why isn't there just like a drop-down thing? I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to give it the same amount of time, just for the heck of it. I'm going to make it 1 second long. Okay, so show menu, it's going to show the drop-down menu, and it's going to apply the effect. Drop-down menu is going to fly in from top, and that's going to be 1 second long. Save as action, very important. Again, I'm going to reuse this one. You can click this little duplicate action button in the top here, and I'm going to name this one close menu. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just update action right now because I like to save as I go. This one, I'm going to change to hide drop-down menu. Okay, I'm going to move that down. So remember, it applies advanced actions. It applies them top to bottom. So whatever is first vertically is going to be applied first, and then it's going to move on through the rest of them. All right, so that's the first one, and then it's going to move on down through the rest of them. So I want to apply the effect to the drop-down menu, fly out to top. So it's going to be an exit animation, fly out to top. To make it match, I'm going to make this 1 second long as well. Now remember, with the slide out menu, we had an issue where it was trying to apply the effect and hide at the same time. So when you create an advanced action, just to reiterate, it applies everything in your list at the exact same time. So if you want something to be able to complete before the next item happens, you have to build in a delay. Let's find the delay. Delay next actions by... I'm going to make this 1 second long because my animation is 1 second long, and I'm going to use this little arrow button to move that one up. So again, it applies in the order of the actions listed vertically. I'm going to apply the effect, fly out to top. For the drop-down menu, it's 1 second long. I'm going to delay the next action, hide, by 1 second, and the last action is going to be hide drop-down menu. Okay, remember, update action. You always got to save these things. Don't do save a shared action. It's a totally different thing. Update action, close. All right. Hard part's done. Now I can go into my menu here, and I know this is ugly. I'm not going for style points here. I was just going to make a point in this video. Select menu. We're going to use as button. Select actions. On success, we're going to execute the advanced action, close menu. Okay, so this is what the menu looks like opened. When you click on this again, it should close. So that's that. I'm going to collapse this in my timeline and hide it for a minute so I can see what's below. Here's the menu closed version. Click on menu again. Use as button. Select your action. On success, execute the advanced action. Close. Oh, wait, no. Open menu. I got all excited. Show menu. I was like, oh, it's already there. No, it's not right there. Anyways, execute advanced action, show menu, and then make sure you re-show this in the timeline or you're going to be very confused. Okay, so we should be good to go. Again, I've got these layered already, and the idea is it's going to hide this one. This one's behind. It's going to show this one. It's going to be somewhat seamless to your user. So put this back into place. Let's preview. As always, cross your fingers that this is going to work correctly. Do a lot of crossing my fingers with Captivate. All right, let that menu or the slide play out for a minute. Oh my god, the states are back. This is why I told you to edit the states. Anyways, when you click on this, it should drop down the menu. It did. It dropped down the menu. Ah, the states. This is why you edit your states before you do anything else, because it'll drive you crazy. All right, so drop down. Click on that again. It goes back up. Beautiful. Okay. Now, it's going to drive me absolutely nuts if I don't fix the states, so I'll show you how to do that. So go into State View. Well, apparently when I copied and pasted these from my other project, it wanted to re-add the states back. Let's see what else says states. Oi! Delete. Delete. Does anything else have? Well, it doesn't really matter. Those are the important ones. Okay, so exit state. Let's go preview that one more time, and it should look much less bad. I won't say pretty, but much less bad. Okay, here's my menu again. Pop that in. Oh, that didn't work. Why didn't that work? I feel like the slide didn't work. Let me reload this. It's my deep sigh of Captivate exasperation. So you play. It appears. I click on this again. It doesn't really seem to be doing the slow fade that I was hoping for. So I'm going to double check that I have the right things assigned to the buttons here. Actions, execute advanced action, close menu, infinite attempts. Let's hide that again. Go to menu here. Use this button, actions, execute, show menu. It's not as elegant as when I built this out earlier. So let's go to advanced actions one more time, make sure everything built out correctly. So close menu, apply effect, drop down menu, fly out to top, and that's 1 second long. Delay the next actions by 1 second, hide drop down menu, that seems fine. Show drop down menu, apply effect, drop down menu, flying from top, that's 1 second. Okay. I updated that because I'm compelled to always make sure I save as. Start previewing one more time. There's always issues when you create things in Captivate, so it's not really a surprise when something doesn't really go right. All right, so I let that play out. Well, I mean, it looks nice. So let me use it more than once, which is interesting because it doesn't always let you do that. In any case, I mean, that's how you do a drop-down menus. Not working quite how I expected, but hey, it works. And you can continue tweaking those options in Captivate to get it to work exactly the way you want. Remember, in advanced actions, you can change the length of the animation, so on and so forth. Okay, so that's menus 3 ways. I did a show and hide. I did a slide in from the left, slide out to left with a hamburger icon, and I did a drop down and a slide back out from the vertical. The last thing that, if you stuck around this long, I want to tell you what you can do next is you can select all of your menu objects here, and the easiest, fastest way to put these onto all your slides is just to, kind of copy and then paste to the next slide, and it'll work exactly the same on your next slide. Of course, you have to paste all the layers as well. Or what you can do is go to your master slide view, and you can actually put this onto your master slide. So you paste that to your master slide. I'm going to close that. I'm going to hide that. Oops. It's not working the way I think. I'm going to hide this so I can get the layer that's underneath of this menu. Okay, Captivate started getting real glitchy. Oh, I'm doing the wrong thing here. There it is. Nope, it's still not it. Okay, I'm just going to... Apparently I copied and pasted on the same... Oh, Captivate, you just got so glitchy. What just happened? Oh, I don't understand. Yeah, this isn't a thing that I can select anymore. In any case, we'll just go back to the master slide view here. The point is you can pop these things onto your master slide, and then if it's on your master slide and all of your project is using the same master slide, this is actually the master slide. You can see this is the biggest one here, and these are the subsidiaries down below. This will appear in all of your slides without you having to worry about it. Let's try one more time with this because it's driving me crazy. Oh, it's because this is the master version already. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me go back to the master slide view here. I know what's happening. I'm getting tripped up on my own advice here. So you put on the master slide. Oh, I did already put this here as well. Okay, great. Okay, exit master. So I can't select this thing. It's not that it's being glitchy. It's that I'm being glitchy. So let's go ahead and delete this here. So this can't be selected because this is actually on the master slide here. I'm going to put master slide objects on top here. So now when you create a new menu, this will actually appear. Now I said that and it's totally not appearing on here. This is the worst instructional video ever. Oh my god. Okay. Now it's decided not to appear in the master slide. Did I delete off the master slide? I drive myself crazy, man. Copy that. Let's go back to master slide view. Oh, okay, it's on the blank slide. So it is on the blank slide. Okay. So I just have to make sure that my slides are maybe from the blank slides. Slide from blank. There it is. Okay, it does appear on the slide here. Let's go ahead and preview from this slide. Master slides can really mess with your head, I'll just be honest with you. Okay, so this is the master slide. I didn't actually put this onto my slide. It just appeared from the master slide. Of course, I didn't put a button onto my slide child here, so it just kept on scrolling without me. But theoretically, this should work if you put it on the master slide. All right, I'm going to end this video now before it gets any more complicated. If you stuck with me this far, you are amazing and have incredible powers of endurance. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this was helpful to you.